There is no way that anybody here would know that unless they were wrapped up in some malfeasance.
I want to preface this video by saying that if you work for a company or organization and have access to sensitive information such as social security numbers, people's work history, or medical information and choose to access that information and use it for personal gain, you are responsible for the consequences. I have not seen any documents with anyone's social security number, work history, or medical information and have no interest in seeing any such documents. That being said, I cannot ignore logic and common sense. There are only a few instances where someone's income is accessible to the public, and none of those are applicable in this situation. So when I watched videos regarding this matter and people's actual income amounts were mentioned, it's clear that someone has access to information that is not readily accessible to the public. For those of you who don't know what is going on, let me quickly bring you up to speed. An individual who was friends with Anti Afro Svengali until they fell out late last year allegedly used her position to access people's social security numbers, work history, and medical information, and allegedly passed that information around. However, there is more to the story. So how long has this been going on? Who knew this individual was allegedly doing this? And why didn't the people who knew what she was doing take any action to stop it? To try and answer these questions, let's take a look at a post Anti Afro Svengali made a few weeks ago. The post is a combination of a screenshot of an email that was sent to Anti Afro Svengali and a caption from Anti Afro Svengali. We see that the email is from 2020. The subject is "I shouldn't have." Portions of the email is blocked out. I know I should have not checked, but someone has something, just like I thought. Anyway, after last night, something. Anti Afro Svengali caption reads, Mona, aka Social Security Bandit, has illegally accessed the medical and mental health information of others in, around, and outside the Umar jealousy sector. Mona did this while working another job before perpetrating Social Security admins and federal privacy rights violations. After the fact, Mona informed me of illegally looking up the federal protected health and mental health information of others. Mona did this 100% on her own volition. Obviously, I have the emails, plural, as proof. IAAS never asked or expected Mona to violate anyone's rights. Multiple times I warned Mona not to violate the rights of others or put herself at risk by perpetrating any illegal acts. But as we have seen, Mona is motivated and blinded by aimless vitriol, rage, and revenge. Oddly enough, Mona seeks revenge and beefs with those who initiated no issue with her. Mona knows what she did is wrong. I will not publicly reveal those Mona looked up. I also won't post the most sensitive emails or sensitive email content which proves Mona violated HIPAA laws. I will be reaching out to those whose rights Mona violated so they can explore their legal options. So based on the date of the email, we know this has been going on at least since 2020. Also, based on Anti Afro Svengali's own words, she knew this was happening. She knew this individual was accessing people's medical and mental health information. She also mentioned that this individual was doing this at another job before working for the Social Security Administration. Anti Afro Svengali also mentioned that she has multiple emails as proof. She also indicated in this post that the information that was illegally accessed is still currently in her possession. Anti Afro Svengali also tried to make the point that she was notified that the information was being accessed after the fact. However, how can you claim you were notified of this after the fact when you claim to have received emails, plural, from this individual with sensitive information? After receiving the first email containing sensitive information, you cannot say the subsequent emails containing sensitive information are after the fact. The sensitive information you received in the subsequent emails might differ from the first. However, after receiving the first email, you are 100% aware of what is going on. Anti Afro Svengali also said she told the individual not to violate anyone's rights or put herself at risk by perpetrating any illegal acts. When did she do that? After receiving the first email with sensitive information, or was it after receiving subsequent emails with sensitive information? Looking at another post that Anti Afro Svengali made, we see the same individual who was sending her sensitive information back in 2020 emailed her on April 12th of 2023 and said, "I cannot wait till I start my new position because I'm going to have access to all their information, all of it." Anti Afro Svengali replied with the following, "Yep, but we will access the legal way, like we did with Dempsey." That's bad enough. He's supposed to owe nearly $100,000 in federal taxes. Laughing emojis. In another one of Anti Afro Svengalis posts, she posted an email she received on June 1st, 2023, from the same individual. "He is going to be effed very soon. My new position is with the Social Security Administration, redeterminations, and investigations. I am going to soak up all the information I need. Like I said last night, he effed with the wrong person. I'll make sure to be his literal devil on earth." To which Anti Afro Svengali replied, "LOL, you already said you ain't saying ish about your new gig. I never tell them anything, which angers them more. But that's our protection. Never put yourself at risk. We can get him without risking anything. I have never cared about anyone accusing me of looking up people who ain't my clients, because I have never done it. Tipri is saying I have other people looking up records, so she can target you. Dempsey is paying her. If she doesn't target you, so what? You haven't done anything. You want to keep it that way. We can get Bernie's too in a clean way, legal way. So let's plan it out." There are a few takeaways from these email interactions. We know that up until June 2023, the communication between AAS and this individual was not severed. Even though, according to Afro Svengalis post, she knew in 2020 that this individual was accessing sensitive information. Also, why did this individual feel so comfortable telling Anti Afro Svengali they were about to do something that could cause them to be subject to criminal prosecution? Maybe it's because they had a history of accessing sensitive information and sharing it with Anti Afro Svengali, therefore they felt comfortable telling her what they were going to do. And the criminal prosecution is not just me blowing smoke. This is according to the socialsecurity.gov website. Actions subject to criminal prosecution: disclosing, using, or compelling the disclosure of the social security number of any person for unauthorized purposes. Accessing Social Security Administration computer records without authorization. Disclosing unauthorized information from Social Security Administration's systems of records. Anti Afro Svengalis' reply to what this individual stated they were going to do at their new job does not seem to reflect the concern of someone who is overly worried about someone using their position to access sensitive information. In one of the replies, Anti Afro Svengali said, "Yup." In the other, she laughed, LOL. We also see laughing emojis. However, she did mention in one of the replies, "But we would access the legal way." And in the other, she said, "Never put yourself at risk." I believe those statements were made as a CYA. Therefore, if anything went left, Anti Afro Svengali could say, "I told her not to do it like she's trying to do now by posting these emails." Because telling an individual, "But we could access the legal way," or "never put yourself at risk" in 2023 is a moot point. Because according to the emails Anti Afro Svengali showed in her post, those lines were already crossed in 2020. Also, according to Anti Afro Svengali's post, she knew this because the information being accessed was shared with her. Did Anti Afro Svengali tell this individual in 2020 that what they were doing was illegal and to stop doing it? Did AAS tell this individual in 2020 to stop sending her this information? Also, if you look at the subject line of both emails, you will notice "re," which means these are replies to a previous email that was sent to this individual by Anti Afro Svengali. So at least up until these dates in 2023, Anti Afro Svengali was having back and forth communication with this individual. Based on the information listed in the emails, these emails were before this individual started working with the Social Security Administration. If we go back to Anti Afro Svengali's post and look at the caption, she said the individual illegally accessed multiple people's medical and mental health information at another job before working at the Social Security Administration. So based on that, when Anti Afro Svengali was having back and forth email conversation with this individual in 2023, she already knew that this individual had accessed multiple people's medical and mental health information. So why would Anti Afro Svengali continue to communicate and strategize with someone that she's saying is involved in illegal activity? I recall Anti Afro Svengalis mentioning that an individual was on SSI. When I heard it, I said to myself, how does she know that? She and this individual are not friends, so it couldn't have been via a conversation they had. This information is not publicly accessible, so was she making it up? However, knowing what we know now, could that have been sensitive information that was accessed and passed on to Anti Afro Svengalis? Anti Afro Svengalis is now saying that she will reach out to the people whose rights were violated so they can explore their legal options. Interesting. Why didn't she do that in 2020? Furthermore, why didn't she reach out to the authorities and let them know what this individual was doing? If you are familiar with Anti Afro Svengalis, you are aware that she doesn't hesitate to submit reports to individuals' employers, even though the actions of the individuals in question are unrelated to their jobs. The justification she gives for doing this is that these individuals are rogue public servants. But here you have an individual who, according to Anti Afro Svengalis Post, since 2020, illegally accessed the medical and mental health information of others, violating HIPAA laws, not at one, but 2 jobs, and Anti Afro Svengalis did nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. This only became a problem in late 2023 when Anti Afro Svengalis and this individual had a falling out, and this individual allegedly accessed Anti Afro Svengalis and an acquaintance of Anti Afro Svengalis information and allegedly shared it with others. Anti Afro Svengalis now seems to be concerned about identity theft and identity fraud. Where was this concern back in 2020? Was AAS concerned about identity theft when AAS herself passed around a document that contained an individual driver's license and social security number? The most significant info is social security and driver's license number. That will come in handy for anyone trying to serve her with documents or collect judgments. Let's go back to the Social Security Administration website and look at the actions subject to criminal prosecution. Disclosing, using, or compelling the disclosure of the social security number of any person for unauthorized purposes. So for what authorized purpose was Anti Afro Svengalis disclosing this individual's social security number to random people on the internet? She tried to justify passing this information around by saying the social security number and driver's license number would come in handy for anyone trying to serve the individual with documents or collect on a judgment, which is malarkey. You don't need someone's social security number or driver's license number to serve them. And if you sue someone and win a judgment, they have to fill out what is called a fact information sheet. 2 of the required fields on the sheet are the social security number and driver's license number. So there's no reason Anti Afro Svengalis will need this information beforehand, much less passing it around to random people on the internet. She also tried to justify this by saying that this information was obtained via a document accessible via public record. And to that, I would once again reference the information that is on the Social Security Administration.gov website under actions subject to criminal prosecution. What authorized reason does Anti Afro Svengalis have for disclosing this individual's social security number to random people on the internet? What's interesting is Anti Afro Svengalis is now referring to this individual as the social security bandit. However, back in 2020, she wasn't saying this when this individual, according to her own post, was accessing people's information and sending it to her. Also, Anti Afro Svengalis states that this individual violated HIPAA laws. If I'm not mistaken, Anti Afro Svengalis is a licensed therapist. So if anyone is familiar with HIPAA laws and how to file a HIPAA violation complaint, it would be her. However, even though she knew this law was being violated, she didn't report it in 2020, she didn't report it in 2021, she didn't report it in 2022. Anti Afro Svengalis is only now talking about making reports after she and this individual fell out, and the individual allegedly accessed her and a friend of hers information. In closing, I'm going to play a clip from a video that Anti Afro Svengalis uploaded in February of 2023.
And I think it was important to take it back that far because HIPAA went into effect in 1996. These laws are very stringent. They have been overhauled throughout the years. The client, patient, individual with the medical record, privacy, has every right to pursue to the ends of the earth who is accessing their records and to demand an investigation into every single person who you believe has unauthorized access to your records. Don't let people play around with your emotions by dangling this in your face for content. I think it's cruel. I think it's abusive. And it's frankly something that shouldn't be done. If people are that hard up for content, I mean, come on. Should you even be on YouTube? Yeah, YouTube allows just about everything that we've seen these days. Unfortunately, there are people here in these YouTube streets who are just about drama. And I think that's frankly cruel to taunt people that somebody could have access to your records. Ignore that. If you have a concern, go to the source who can tell you exactly who accessed your records. There is no way that anybody here would know that unless they were wrapped up in some malfeasance themselves.
Well, I guess Anti Afro Svengali is wrapped up in malfeasance.